Right, I think we'll just get started. So hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Networking Professionals training. It's pretty exciting because we're starting back at week number 1 now. So for anybody that is relatively new to the business, this is a great time to be starting the training. For anybody that wasn't on before and didn't hear me say, you're stuck with me tonight, I'm afraid. Claire's little girl isn't very well, so just bear with us. Hopefully everything will go without a glitch. Just a little bit of information about tonight's training and how it's going to work. So this is what you will get from it. This is our commitment to those of you listening in on the call. It's 6 weeks of focused training, really looking at everything that you'll need to build your business. Everybody who is talking on the call will share our experience with you. You'll never be asked to do anything that you don't want to do, and not anything that we wouldn't do ourselves. We're never going to ask you to do something that we wouldn't be willing to do. You'll get a regular inspirational spirit. We'll do lots of talking about mindset and it helping to inspire one another. This is a safe environment to learn and ask questions. So if you've got questions, do feel to ask them. You can pop something in the chat box if you want to, or we don't tend to do it much on this call, but there is the option to unmute yourself at the end if there's anything that you want to ask, something that we didn't cover. But that's what it's all about, is learning, so feel free to ask if there's anything you're not sure about. It's a way to do recognition, so you'll see we've got some coming up tonight actually, recognitions within the team, and there will also be prizes to be won. There's lots going on in March, which is very exciting. And we want to have fun on this call. It's a great way to get set up for the week ahead and doing it on a Sunday night. And, you know, as it says here, you can't fail, you can only learn, and that's what we're all here to do. So this is the commitment that we would like from you, is over the next 6 weeks to do your daily activity, to set your plan in place, which you'll probably already have done, maybe not if you're very new to the business. Set your plan in place for the month, then do the activity that you've planned on and review it, because obviously things crop up and things can change as we go along. Be willing to come out of your comfort zone, because that's something that all of us have done, and I think it's safe to say that everybody talking on the call tonight is probably coming out of their comfort zone a little bit, so that's what it's all about. Embrace change and ideas. So there will be things that come across that we talk about and you might think, oh, I've not done that before, or that's new to me, but embrace it, because it's worth it. The ideas do work. And commit to starting your manager plan if you haven't already done so. And if you need some help with that, have a chat with your mentor or your sponsor or with Claire, and you'll be given all the help you need to get that plan in place. So this is what we cover on this training. We'll look at dreams and goals, what is network marketing, the business cycle, why do people join, building a 4cc retail business. There'll be lots of ideas to do that. We have a product of the week slot where someone tells us about their favourite product, how to use Facebook and how to do it the correct way, making a killer phone call, never running out of people to talk to, answering questions, time management, customer care, communication skills, planning your new team member and helping them to build their business, manager and beyond, because there's so much more that we can look at beyond manager, and also having a winner's mindset. So that's the things that we'll cover. So obviously this is week 1, as I said. So what we're going to focus on tonight is we're going to talk about developing the right mindset and why that's so important. We will also talk about your dreams, your goals and ambitions. We'll talk about why network marketing and get some more information about that. We're also going to chat about the business cycle and your 100+ list. So we'll give lots of information on all of those. So we've got a few welcomes to do before we get into the training. So welcome to the team, everybody on the screen. So we've got Kelly, Bev, Flavia, Stella, Kirsty and Laura. So welcome to the team, everybody. I think some of you are very new, so don't panic if some of the things we're talking about seem to go over your head, because before you know it, everything will make lots and lots of sense. But welcome, it's nice to have you all with us. We've got a couple of recognitions as well, quite early in the month still, just the 13th, so huge well done to Rochelle and Lynn, who have already both got their full case credits. So obviously they get the book, which everybody who does their full CC will get, but there's also the extra prize that you get if you do that before the 15th of the month. So well done, ladies. We've got another couple of recognitions actually. Everybody's on fire at the moment. So we've got a couple of new 4cc PIN level 1 achievers. And what that means is that they have, over the course of 3 months, they've got 4 case credits consistently every 3 months. Every month, sorry, for 3 in a row. So we've got Louise and Mia that got their level 1 pins. So well done to both of you as well. So the first thing that we're going to talk about tonight is developing the right mindset. And to help us with that is the lovely Leanne. Leanne is an assistant supervisor in the business. She is a mum. She's got a little boy who's 14 months old. She also works the business around her part-time job, and she is a member of the leadership team. So Leanne, are you there? Can you unmute yourself?
I am, yes.
Perfect, lovely. I will hand you over to Leanne then.
Thank you. So evening all. As Bronwyn said, I'm Leanne, and I joined Forever in October last year. But I only actually recently started working my business in January. I have a 14-month-old son, and I work part-time as a childminder. So having the correct mindset and attitude is key in this business. If you believe you can do it, you will achieve it. So success begins in the mind. So one of the first things I actually done when I joined the business was created a vision board. You can also do a book, so whichever suits you. I opted for a vision board so that I can see it every day. So I add all the things that I wanted to achieve. So you can add things like holidays, a house, car, children, anything really that means a lot to you that you're working towards and that you honestly want to put on your board. This is then a vision for you to work towards. Sorry. I also recommend to start reading a few pages of one of Claire's recommended books every day. This will then help put you in the correct mindset for the day ahead. Are you willing to embrace change? Forever is a very different way of working, and to build success, you need to embrace change and make it your norm. Are you willing to pay the price? So with a successful business comes sacrifice. So for me, I've given up, for example, watching TV in the evening so that I can work my business when my son's in bed. In turn of that, I actually have a catch-up day on a Sunday. And also one of the main things that I found quite difficult, for example, this call, it's the first time I've done online training, so I'm very, very nervous, so please bear with me. Is stepping out of my comfort zone. So as I said, training, I've also done some online launches and some live launches. Again, that's something I wouldn't normally do in my daily life. A clear vision of your future. So know what you want to achieve and how Forever can make that happen. So what Claire said was an activity which we've all been doing, is to picture ourselves on something that we want to achieve. So you can picture yourself if you want to achieve a dream holiday. So picture yourself on that beach or in that dream car, or even on stage at the success day collecting your manager's sash. So what Claire said to do was to picture yourself there, what you were wearing, who was there, how you feel. And this will help you develop the mindset you need to achieve. Are you ready to make commitment? So put in that hard work required to reach your goals. So as I said, I work part-time and have a 14-month-old son. And when he's in bed, I work my business. So I don't watch TV anymore. I don't have to call my friends. And the recommended reading would be Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, so consistency and persistence. So 3 simple steps to a successful business. Number 1 is to use the products yourself. So I would recommend doing the bin bag challenge and put all your shop bought products and toiletries, creams, etc., anything you really use on a daily basis, into a black bin bag and replace with forever items. This will obviously help you learn the products and start to use them. Number 2 is retail. So recommend the products to friends, family, to be honest, anyone you really talk to on a daily basis. Speak to them and recommend the products. And recruit. So start making your calls. Show people the amazing business opportunity. So 4cc minimum. Commit to achieving 4cc personal every month. This is the basis of a successful business. You can then obviously make your calls and recruit to increase your CCs monthly. Make 5 to 10 calls a day. So start to get people around the cycle. Attend all training and events. So on Sunday, obviously, we run a 6-week network professional training. There's also a 4cc clinic on a Wednesday evening. Forever also offer success days and training days during the year. So I actually attended my first one in February, and I came home very excited, inspired, and to be honest, really grateful to be working with such an amazing company and people. Stay focused on your goals and why you're doing this. So I'll share a personal story with me, which is obviously something I said at the very beginning. I said that I joined Forever in October last year, but to be honest, I didn't actually really start to do anything with my business until January. The reason is when I started my business, I faced an awful lot of negativity from my friends and family, the people I actually thought would support me. So I actually took a step back and withdrew from the business. That was because I honestly didn't have the correct mindset. Then as time went on, I actually realised that those people didn't pay my bills and that they were negative because they didn't understand the business. And with that helped set my mind, change my mindset. So in January, I started to put my plans in place, and I'm now working with Claire to build an amazing business. So my advice to you would be to never give up. The recommended reading is Go Pro by Eric War. The next slide, please. Thank you. So 1 minute, I just need to minimize this page so I can see. Okay, so our business is built on the basis that you do a few simple actions every day and in turn teach others to do the same. So those activities are marketing your products. So as I said, use the products, learn them, and recommend them to friends and family and everyone you speak to. Marketing the opportunity. So make your 5 calls a day, show the people the business opportunity, and personally develop yourself and other team members by obviously attending the training offered and by showing your team exactly what you did. Unlike conventional businesses and careers where you have to learn before you do, in network marketing you do in order to learn. Simply put, the more you do, the more income you will make. Yep, thank you. Thanks. So 8 simple steps to success. So do your who you know list. So start by writing down every single person that you know. Also print off your Facebook friends list, and in all honesty, write down anyone, even if you're not sure of their name. So your doctors, your dentists, if you've got children, their health visitors. This will help build the basis of who you can contact in future. Contact and make your calls every day, and start to show people the amazing business opportunity. Start to get them around the cycle. The first step is the YouTube presentation, followed by the business presentation, which then shows everybody the nuts and bolts of the business. Answer any questions they have. So if they have questions, obviously at first get out what they liked about the business, and then just help reassure them with any concerns that they have. So pre-planning and planning. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Put everything put everything complete in your retail plan prior to the first of the month. So obviously then you can sit and know where your CCs are coming from. I also then do a 7-day plan. So I write down what actions I plan to take over the week. And I also do a daily plan with 7 points that I plan to do that day. And also not forgetting your calls. So develop and manage a plan. So work with your upline on how you will achieve becoming manager. Thank you.
Thanks, Leanne. That was absolutely fantastic. I was chatting to my computer there and I realised I've muted myself. I was a bit stupid. That was amazing. And can I just say, you absolutely didn't sound nervous. That was handled like a pro.
Oh,
So well
really?
done. No, you really didn't. You did really well. That was great. Thank you very much. So lots of really good points there. And do you know what? I loved what it was so genuine when Leanne was talking about coming to the training, when you said, I came away inspired. And I thought that is the perfect way to sum it up. Everybody does. And obviously it's great that we can share that with you, but the thing you need to do is get along to the trainings yourself. That is definitely key. So that was great. Thank you very much, Leanne. So
Thank you.
we will move on now to the lovely Rochella. So Rochella, I'll not steal her story. She'll tell you a little bit about herself. Rochella is also an assistant supervisor in the business. You'll have seen from some of the posts already on some of our groups. Rochella has done amazingly in her first couple of months in the business. She achieved 12.1 case credits in her second month. I believe that was purely in retail, which is fantastic. Rochella is also a member of the leadership team. She's a busy mum and she has a part-time job. So Rochella, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
We can, yes. I shall hand you over then. Thanks.
Hi everybody, I'm Rochella. I'm over in Ireland, in Northern Ireland here. I started with Forever in mid-January, and I am just working it around my part-time admin job and my 6-year-old very lively twin boys. Loving the experience so far. I was a wee bit daunting at the very beginning, but I feel now my confidence is growing every week being in the business, and as it's been discussed, stepping out of your comfort zone as well. So I'm so far enjoying, and hopefully I'll continue to feel this way and just get more and more confident as we go on. Okay, Bronwyn, if we can just move on there. Okay, so we're just discussing here the benefits of network marketing. Network marketing is obviously not a traditional business, but there are so many benefits of this type of business. For a start, the products or services is already provided for you, so you don't have to create your own product to have your own business, which is such a big bonus. So the product with Forever, fabulous products are there. Very low risk startup cost. I mean, traditional businesses, people just get into debt with thousands and thousands of pounds, but this here, like £200 to start you off is just fantastic. So that's a big benefit there. Flexible commitment, this is a big one, especially for any mums there, that you choose the hours that suit you to work. There's no 9 to 5, 9 to 1. You're totally flexible. You can do it at night when the kids are in bed. Whereas with traditional businesses, people may be working 18-hour days. So that's a big bonus as well. Training is already provided for you, like the training that we're having at the minute. And also the good thing is about Forever that you can listen into previous trainings, which is great if you can't make them that night, just at your convenience, just to recap on anything you've missed. It's all there for you. And also the training is really fun with Forever as well. It's not like, well, I don't know about your jobs, but my job, the training is ridiculously boring. The next one is sales, yes, and shown how. A lot of people at the start of joining the business might be a bit dubious about the sales thing. I know I was. I never really liked the idea of sales, but this is so different. people would say I can't do sales, but it's not hard selling. You're just basically, you know, becoming a product of the product and recommending. So it's just done a totally different way, and the training teaches you how to do that. Customer service. Well, you are the customer service. Your customers have you to come back to, so they don't have to like phone 0845 numbers or anything like that. It's so personal because they've got a direct line to you. The company manage the inventory, so forever have all the stock. We just order what we need. It's delivered to your door within 48 hours. You don't need a big shed or warehouse to hold all the stock. You can just order as you need it. The company manage the regulatory and the legal stuff. So it's really all taken care of. You don't have to worry about that side of things, which with a traditional business would be a bit of a nightmare. So that's a big bonus as well. You've no employees to worry about, just team members. So you don't have to like make out rotas for people as you would with a traditional business. Word of mouth advertising. It's free, so you have no advertising costs. Word of mouth spreads really quick, especially if it's positive. Word of mouth product explanation. So when people are using the products and loving them, and feeling and seeing the benefits, they're chatting about them to others, telling them what it is that they're using and how it's benefiting them. So they're really explaining everything because they're just talking about how these products are helping them. Next slide, please. So how are people making extra income? Well, nowadays, lots of people outside of Forever are selling on Amazon. Lots of people outside of Forever are selling on eBay to make extra income. We also have the growth of Uber and Air2B. I'd never heard of these, but I googled them. So Uber is the taxi hailing app, which connects drivers with passengers directly instead of going through booking services or hailing a cab. And it uses the GPS on your phone to detect your location. And you can actually choose what type of car you want, if it's like a taxi or you want a fancier car, which sounds fantastic. And then Air2B, it's a website for people to list, find and rent lodging. So there's all sorts of different things popping up now. Also we have Dragon's Den, which I love, and it's teaching people the value and price of following a dream. It's also actually helping people to change the mindsets from no to maybe, and changing it from coin operated to something else. Next slide, please. So just some statistics here. Global network marketing statistics 2014. This is by sales in billions sterling. Asia Pacific 54 billion, North America 34 billion, South and Central America 20 billion, Western Europe 6 billion, which is a total of 121 billion pound, which is like a mind-blowing figure. People involved 99 plus million, and up 17%, sorry, in 4 years. So 1.3% of global population are doing network marketing. Next slide, please. So how much commission is paid out in network marketing? 40% average is paid in commission. That's almost half. 48.4 billion for the year, and approximately 133 million every day in commission is paid. Forever statistics. Forever UK 2013 41 million, 2014 76 million, 2015 135 million, and also 44 million in commission. So 120,500 every day paid in commission, plus incentives. That's like car plan, things like that. 95% of people involved in Forever make a reasonable income, moderate or no income, and benefit from products. 5% of participants earn 6 figures or more. In 2013, one Forever business owner made over 1 million for the year, but in 2016, 5 Forever business owners are expected to make over 1 million. So that's just proven the whole growth of the network marketing business. So network marketing with Forever, it's a better way, yes. Perfect way, no, but it's still better. Is it easy? Yes, to get into, but to be successful, no. You've really got to work at it. Time, sacrifice, effort, and ongoing practice to develop the 7 network marketing skills. So is it worth it? Well, it definitely is, because it's a career that you will create yourself. Nobody's telling you to go to college and study to be this and that. This is your own thing. It's freedom that you will have, options that you will have, because it's your money, you're earning your business, choices that you will have, and not to mention the lives that you'll touch with the products and the opportunity. The people you'll meet, not just your customers, but the other people in the business through trainings, going to success days, you'll meet friends for life. The places you'll get to see, if you are successful, you get your free trips. And also the causes that you can contribute to. If you are one of the lucky ones to be earning large amounts of money, at least you can give back to charity or, you know, causes close to your heart. And just to recap, as Jane Leach says, the greatest benefit isn't what you'll get by being involved in network marketing. The greatest benefit is what you will become. Obviously, you're going to become a better person. And 2 top tips. Jim Rohn says, let others lead small lives, but not you. And Eric Warr, who is the author of GoPro, says, stop playing small. In other words, think bigger for yourself, realize that you deserve more, and go and get it, basically.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rochelle. That was great. So, yeah, that was fantastic. And I'm just actually picking up on something that Lisa's popped in the comment box, and I don't know if everybody can see this, but you're absolutely right, Lisa. So Rochelle was speaking about the different ways that people make an extra income, but the key is she was talking about outside of Forever. So you do get people that sell their own goods or buy and sell things on the likes of Amazon and eBay, but you're not able to do that with our Forever products, just in case anybody's wondering about that. And I know that people have commented before on having seen things like that happen, but just to be aware that Forever do suspend business owners who are caught selling things in that way, because it's not really in the spirit of network marketing, as we're learning as we go along. So yeah, you're quite right, Lisa. That was a good point. So thank you, Rochelle. That was fantastic. And we're now going to hand you over to the very lovely Mia. So Mia is an assistant supervisor in the business. She is also a member of the leadership team, a full-time conveyancer, a very busy lady, which she'll tell you more about herself. And as we saw at the start of the course, she also now has her 4cc level 1 pen. So well done, Mia.
Thanks, Bronwyn. Hi everyone. So just quickly, I'm sure everyone probably knows me by now, but for those of you who don't, I'm Mia. I work full-time. I do extremely long hours. So when I first started Forever back last year, I just wanted to retail the products, and it's just since January really I've put a plan in place to sort of build my business and come away from the corporate world and replace my income eventually. Yeah, so that's just a bit about me really. Next slide, please, Bronwyn. Thank you. So I'm going to be talking through goals. If you don't know what you want and your mind can't focus on non-specific things, so you need to really think at what it is that is going to drive you and what's going to be your goal, however big it is. You need to find something that's really going to make you excited. Don't sort of look at other people's goals and think, oh yeah, I'd like that car, or I'd like this. It's got to be really personal to you and really sort of touch your mind to make you want to have that drive to achieve that for yourself or your family or both. So you need to create plans to achieve your goal, meaning to the activity that you're doing. So as I say, it's got to really drive you, because if it's not something that you really desire to do, then you're not going to have the willpower to put everything into it that you can to get that goal as the outcome. So don't be scared of setting goals. A goal is just a dream with a deadline. So yeah, as I say, really think about what it is that you want from forever or in general in your life, and what it is that's going to benefit you and really drive you to do the things you need to do to get there. Thanks, Bronwyn. So, creating your ideal lifestyle. Write down all the things you'd like to happen, whether it be sort of in the next month, in the next 6 months. Just write down everything that you would love to have in your life, and make sort of a storyline of it as such. There's no limits to talent, time or money. If you can't see if it's clearly you that has nothing to focus on, so again, it really needs to be something that drives you, and not someone else's goals, or oh yeah, I'd like that. It has to be something that you've set yourself. Thanks, Bronwyn. So this is just a simple formula. Words create 10% of your goals. Pictures 30%, and 60% of it is emotions. So that is a massive chunk of the whole goal setting. So it's all about your mind and having it in your mind of being there, how it makes you feel, being excited about it, and actually visualizing you living that lifestyle that you want, or the things that you want, that are in your goal board and things like that. Thanks, Bronwyn. So, goals must be exciting, as I said. It's got to really drive you. They've got to be challenging. I mean, you can make a small goal, but it's going to be achievable if you go beyond and make it so big that it actually scares you to think about it. Then it's going to really motivate you and drive you to take the steps you do to get there. So it's got to be challenging, to challenge your mind to do it. It's got to be measurable, and it's also got to be emotionally moving. So go into as much detail as possible. That's why our sort of 5-year letters are really good. So you can sort of write down how you feel while you're in that moment, and things like that, what you're wearing and things. Give them a completion date. Again, as I say, sort of the 5-year, 1-year letters, whichever it is you decide to do, they're really good, because you can set a time of when you'd like to do that by, and write down how you feel upon achieving them. So like in my letter, I want to achieve it on the date of sort of an anniversary of having chemotherapy, so it's sort of celebrating that and also celebrating having that goal. So I've written all of that down in my letter, so really go into detail about how you feel, what you're wearing, what the surroundings are like, everything that you can possibly imagine, so you truly get into that goal that you're trying to set, and that sort of environment as if you're there now. Thanks, Bronwyn. So your why. What are you prepared to work for? What's important to you? Are you committed? Will you do whatever it takes? How will it feel? And what has to change? So, as I say, again, I've said it about 3 times, it's got to be important to you. It can't be off someone else's goal board. Really sit down and think, and it may not come to you straight away what's going to sort of drive you to get there. I know for me it didn't. Although I had some goals, they weren't really in my mind, but now I've sort of realised what it is I want to do it for. So you really do need to be committed. What are you prepared to sacrifice in order to get that better lifestyle and hit that goal that you've put on your board? As it says, will you do whatever it takes? So Leanne was saying that she stopped watching TV. I know that as sad as it sounds, at only 23, I don't see my friends very often because I've got a busy work life, and also I really want to make forever work for myself so then I can enjoy their time and things like that. How will it make you feel? It needs to excite you, and how will it make you feel then when you've achieved it? And what has to change? Again, is there things in your life that you can change or sacrifice? Because short-term sacrifice is long-term gain. So are there things that you think, actually I could, you know, not do that so much at the moment and then benefit from it later on? When the whys become clear, the hows become easy. So as I say, you need to understand why you were doing this and really make it clear and focus on that in your mind, to be able to see what you need to do to achieve that in whichever time period you've said. Thanks, Bronwyn. So the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we will miss it, but that it is too low and we will reach it. So again, even if it is so big it scares you, that's great, because it's a challenge. It's going to drive you and you're going to be motivated to do it. Whereas if it's, as it says, if it's a small goal that you half know in the back of your mind that you can achieve it if you put in a little bit extra than what you're doing already, it's not big enough. You really need to go into your wildest dreams of what you never ever imagined could be possible, so then you give yourself in your mindset that push you need to get to that goal that you've set. Thanks, Bronwyn. So focus on it day and night. Stay emotionally connected to your goal, whether that be take a couple of minutes in the morning and just close your eyes and sit there and think about it. I know that sounds really stupid, silly, but I do that in the morning because that's what Dave O'Connor had sort of said about on one of his days of the 21-day plan. Have pictures, so goal boards are perfect because you can put everything you want to achieve in them. Words on it, stretch yourself and also your time. So really focus on your goals day and night, so they're stuck in the front of your mind daily, so you know what you've got to do to achieve that in that day. Thanks, Bronwyn. So tool number 2, as I've mentioned a couple of times, is your dream book or your vision board. Have it in front of you. Have pictures around the house, on your fridge, wherever's good for you. I've got one in the front of my diary as well, because I've got a pro planner that is really, really good for network marketing that Emma Cooper from Forever Living's actually designed herself. So I can carry around my goal board as well. So the fact it's up on my wall and things like that, so I can see it every day. So it just reminds me of what I need to do in that day to get to those goals that I've set. And they're really, a really good way, as I say, to have pictures to put you into that vision of actually being there yourself, to get yourself excited for that day so you can do the activity that's going to get you there. I think that's it. Thanks, Bronwyn.
Thank you, Mia. I wasn't sure there actually either. That was great. Thank you so much. I did it again. I forgot to unmute myself before I started talking, but anyway, we'll get there. Thank you, Mia. That was fab. So I'm going to take you through the next part of the training. And what we're going to look at is your 100 plus list, or your who do you know list, and taking people around the business cycle. I think we have got a couple of new people on the call, so just so that you know a little bit about myself, my name is Bronwyn, obviously, and I am a supervisor in the business. I joined the business at the end of September last year. Probably a little bit similar to some of the others in the business. I didn't really work it very seriously straight away, if I'm honest. I only really started properly working my business in January, I would say. Probably like a lot of other people, because I did have a lot of negativity from family and friends. Didn't quite get the support that I was hoping for from them. And so I just needed to go away and work on my own mindset, to be honest. And the key for me has been attending trainings. I went to the QLS training in January, along with quite a few of you that are on the call. And that made a massive, massive difference to me, because it cemented in me why I had joined the business and what I was hoping to get. I also, it's not on here, but I also have a little girl, Harriet. She's 1.5. And that is, like most of us, my biggest why is so that I can be around for well, she's little. I don't want to have to be back at work. I am on a career break at the moment, which is ending this month, and I have now told my boss that I'm not coming back. So, you know, obviously I'm building my business around her, which is great. So yeah, I am going to, that's enough information about me. We shall move on. And I'm going to talk you through, first of all, building your who do you know list. So I think we have got 1 or 2 of you on the call that are quite new. Those of us that have been in the business for a little while will have started this and will probably still be adding to it, to be honest. But when you first join the business, one of the first things that we ask you to do is to start with this list. So there is space to write it in your first steps to manage a book, although you will soon run out of space and need to carry on elsewhere. So if I'm honest, when I first looked at this, I thought 100 plus people. I thought, I don't know that many people, which is ridiculous because obviously I do. So if you're thinking that, if you're feeling a little bit like, how am I going to get all these people on my list? Here's a little idea of where you can actually get them from. So start off with the contacts that you've got in your phone. Everybody who you've got in your phone, it doesn't matter who they are. Say you've got about 100 contacts on there. As already been mentioned tonight, but print off your Facebook friends. Most of us have got quite a lot of friends, 300. For some people, 300 is probably quite a shy estimate, actually. But say you've got about 300 friends on Facebook. If you have got kids and they go to nursery or school or they go to other clubs, think of the people that you meet there. So people that run the clubs, other parents that you speak to there, you know, who do you chat to outside the school gates, this kind of thing. All of those people. So you might have about 30 once you include all of them, another 30. Family, you've probably got 30 people in your family, and your family isn't just your own immediate family. You know, think about your cousins and the people that you maybe haven't seen in your family for a long time, and also think about your in-laws and people that you're related to through marriage. So you've maybe got about 30 people there. Neighbours, so maybe 10 of your neighbours who live a little bit closer to you. People who you meet socially, so you might go to their gym or some exercise classes, you might belong to a church, you might go to different groups, sort of hobbies and activities that you take part in. 50 might sound like a lot, but when you actually sit down and write down all the people that you know through all these different things that you do, or that you've done in the past, because it doesn't need to be people that you actively know right now, people that you have known maybe in the past. So you could have another 50 people on the list there. And if you are working, or if you ever have worked, another 30 people. That's not hard to get to by the time you include all the people that do everything at your work, and all the places that you've worked at in the past as well. So just looking at that example, and everybody's list is slightly different, but you could be looking already from writing down all of these people at having 550 people on your who do you know list. So one of the first tasks really to do is to do the memory jogger activity, which is in your first steps to manage a book. And this is fantastic. One tip that I picked up from one of the trainers, I don't remember who said it now, was to do it yourself, but also do it with your family. So I did it with my husband as well, and I definitely got more people doing it that way. So that's the list that goes through sort of who do you know who is, and it's got all the different things like, you know, who do you know that's an accountant, who do you know that works in advertising, all these kinds of things. There's also a section for family and friends, so it names all the different kinds of friends. Who do you know is married, who do you know is single. A section for workplaces where you've worked, and then also a section for the different qualities of people. So, you know, who do you know who communicates well, this kind of thing. And it's amazing how thinking of that, different people's names will pop into your head. So that's a great activity if you haven't done it already. And to be honest, even if you have, revisit it and see who else you can maybe think of, because our list can keep growing all the time. So don't worry if some of the numbers don't make a huge amount of sense to you yet. If you're quite new, it will all get explained. And if there's anything you're not sure about, do just go back to your sponsor or go back to Claire, who's our upline manager, and you'll definitely get help to understand it. But basically, if about 100 names on your list, and we'll go on to explain the statistics in a minute of that, but if 100 names on your list would give you £1,200 a month, 550 names on your list, as we've just shown there, has the potential to give you £6,500 a month. And I'm pretty sure none of us would say no to £6,500 extra a month right now. So what do we do then? How do we speak to all of these people? We've got our list and we know who they are. So the next step is to take people around the cycle. Now, this is the cycle that all of us on the call tonight have been around in one way or another. It starts with your why in the middle, which Mia has already spoken to us about. Obviously, all of our goals are different, but it starts off with that. And then, as you can see in the top box, you then have a look at who do you know and build your list. So after that, we're going to make contact with them. We cannot emphasize enough that in this business, the phone is your friend. So always, always pick up the phone and speak to people if you can. There will be occasions where you either don't have a number or can't get a number for people, and you might be messaging people on social media. But if at all possible, always pick up the phone to people. You get much better results that way. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're then going to meet with them and use our one-to-one presenter to show them some information, or we'll send them a 10-minute video clip. After that, the next stage is showing them the business presentation. If there is a live one near where you stay, then do get them along to that. If not, or if they're not able to make a live one, we do have the recorded VP that you can show them as well. And following them on from that is getting them started and looking at their goals and training. So, what do you say? How do you do this phone call when you start? This is something that probably scares quite a lot of us, I think it's fair to say, when we first join the business. So the first thing you want to do is be prepared when you pick up the call. It helps so much with your nerves if you know what you're going to say, if you're ready for it. And the best way to prepare is to profile absolutely everybody before you call them. So you can see the example on the screen here of your sharing the opportunity sheet, which again is in your first steps to manage a book. And you can print out some more of them as well once you run out. So remember, when you're talking to people, before you do it, write down, even if you don't know them very well, whatever you do know about them goes on this profile sheet. So as much information as you possibly can. When you pick up the phone to talk to them, the key is to remember that less is more. At this stage, it's an invitation, not a presentation. So we want to keep it as simple as possible and let the opportunity speak for itself. So you're inviting them to take a look at some more information. You're going to let them know what the next step is. You are telling them why you think that they would be good at it. Another really important key is to tell them what's in it for them. And if you are going to send them a YouTube clip to watch, the 10-minute video, then you want to arrange a specific time to follow up with them, to have them call back. So you'll recognise this again from your first steps to manage a book. I keep calling it page 19, but I'm conscious that it's not in some of the newer books. So whatever page it's on, this is what you want to do, what you want to talk, sort of the script that you want to talk through when you call people. So obviously, hello, is it a good time? Have you got a minute? Pick one of these options. I usually say, I've got an idea that I just wanted to share with you. I have no idea if it's for you. So that takes the pressure off when you've said that, or I'm not sure if it's right for you or not. The key then is number 4, so you really don't want to miss this out. I thought of you because, it could be, I thought of you because you've been so successful in life. I thought of you because you're so bubbly and outgoing. I thought of you because you're such a kind and caring person, etc., etc. So again, you know this because you've already done the profile sheet. You're then going to say, again, I'm not sure if it's for you, but I do know that it can give you, and if you know them well, you might know it can give them an income working flexibly at home around their children, if you know that's something that might help them. If you know that they're saving up for a holiday, I do know that it can help you save for that holiday. If you don't know, then what you say here is, I do know that it can give you an extra income, because most people would be happy to have that. So again, then you're going to point out that all you want to do is get some information into their hands. And then very, very important, so number 7, and Eric Warray's name has come up a few times already tonight, not without reason. This is something that he absolutely says is a must. If I do this, will you do that? So if you get to the end of this, and this is something that a lot of us have had to tweak what we're saying. I'm speaking from experience because I wasn't saying this. Claire will vouch for that. At the end of the conversation, it's very important that if you're sending them a YouTube clip, obviously if you're meeting them for a coffee, then that's great, and you're going to follow up with them in person. But if you're sending the clip, then what you want to say is, if I send you this, will you have a look at it? If I do this, will you do that? You've then got their agreement, and as I said already, you can then arrange. So I'll give you a call on Wednesday then. When do you think you have time to watch it? Or you watch it on Tuesday evening? What if I give you a call on Wednesday morning? You'll have had a chance to watch it then. Okay, so if you want any more help with your calls and what to say, obviously this is a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but do go back to your sponsor, go back to your upline manager, and you'll definitely get more help with that. So once we start speaking to people, it's really important that we record it so we don't get confused. And the best way to do that is to use the activity tracker. Again, you've got this in your First Steps to Manager book, and you can print out more copies. So who goes on your activity tracker? Well, you can see from this one here the kind of information. So you've got the name. Warm or cold basically means whether or not you know them. So somebody from your warm list is somebody you already know. And if you're new in the business, pretty much everybody will be warm that you're calling. Cold is cold market people, so people that you don't already know. Pop in their number, which does make it easier when it comes to follow-up because you've got it all right there in front of you. You're then going to pop in there what you did, so the date that you spoke to them, did they watch the YouTube clip, and you've got a section for comments. And moving on, you've got a place to write down when they watched the business presentation and what's happened beyond that. So another important key actually worth mentioning is who goes on your activity tracker. We're talking here about people that you have physically picked up the phone and spoken to. So you don't write everybody that you message on Facebook on here, because that will do two things. It will skew your own results. So what I mean by that is as you are calling people and contacting people, you will be able to work out your own statistics, how many people you need to talk to get one person joining the business. If you've got 20 people a day that you're sending messages to on Facebook and you're writing all of them on here, it's very, very difficult to work out your statistics. So that's one reason for that. The other thing is that obviously you don't want hundreds and hundreds of pages for people that don't ever reply to your messages. So for people that you're messaging, you keep a note somewhere, of course, separately, so that you make sure you follow up with them. But only once you get them to the stage of watching the business presentation would you then put them on your activity tracker. Other than that is for people that you physically talk to about the opportunity. So we've done our first call, we've sent the information, we've sent the YouTube clip, and we're going to give them a call. So what would you say? So, hi, how are you? Did you get a chance to have a look at the YouTube clip? Don't be alarmed if they say, oh my goodness, I totally forgot to watch it. That's fine. We go back to, did you, when will you have a chance to watch it? That's fine. I will call you after that. If they've watched it, then remember that one of the reasons that talking to people on the phone is so much better, or in person, is because your enthusiasm can really come across. So show that when you call them. So a good thing to say is, oh, it's really exciting, isn't it? What grabbed you? This is really, really, really important, because if they move on to the stage of watching the business presentation, you can help them so much better and answer their questions much better if you already know what appealed to them. So what grabbed you about what you saw? And, at this stage, a lot of people will say, oh, I really like the sound of the product, or, I love the thought of the earning potential that you've got, or it's great because it's very flexible, something like that. Most people will also say, but, and there will be a question. So it might be, oh, I don't know if I've got time, oh, I don't know if I know enough people, all of the questions that probably we've all had at some point. The best thing to say then, if they're asking general questions, is to say, okay, that's great, you're asking all the right questions. And then this is the message that we use. We can use it in message format, but this is what we would say to people when it comes to moving on to the next stage. The best thing to do now is to do what I did and watch our business presentation. It's 45 minutes long. It gives you all the nuts and bolts of the business. It goes into more detail about our company, the products, how we find customers, how we build a team, how we can expect to get paid, and the best way to get started in the business. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? And I can give you a call afterwards. And then, of course, you're going to send them the link to have a look at. And then, you know, again, that's great. Shall we catch up on whatever day you would agree? Something extra that we have is our Design Your Life group on Facebook, which we do cover that in a little bit more detail. So don't panic if you don't know a lot about it yet, but we'll all be in this group from when we join the business. Once you've sent somebody the information for the business presentation, follow up with a quick message saying, almost as if it's an afterthought, also, I wondered if you'd like me to add you to a secret group we have on Facebook where other distributors can share their stories with you as to how they got started and how they're finding forever. And a little side point on that, if somebody comes back and says, yes, please add me, you'll see on there how the welcome posts work. And if you want some help with the welcome post, if you haven't done one before, just ask your sponsor or your upline for help with that. And once you've added somebody, you need to message Claire, because she's our upline manager, and ask her to accept them into the group, because otherwise they just sit there not being accepted. So as I say, that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour on prospecting and how to get started with that if you're quite new to the business. But remember, there's lots of help available, so do keep in touch with your sponsor and you'll get lots of help along the way. So we're going to move on to the next section now, and unfortunately the lovely Lynn isn't able to be with us just now. She's moving, bless her. I did that not long ago myself and it's a nightmare. So I am going to talk us through how to do a stonking launch. I was going to say that's a shame. That sounds silly, but it is a shame because you'll know that Lynn does lots of launches and retails fantastic amounts, so she's amazing at them. But I'm sure we'll get a chance to hear how Lynn does it at another stage. We'll hear from her again, I'm sure. So, in preparation for your launch, if you haven't had one yet, or even if you have actually, it's a good reminder, always over-invite. So as a general rule, you might need to invite 15 to get 5 turning up. I've had launches where everybody's turned up and I've had a room full, and I've had others where there's been 2 people there. But always over-invite, because there will always be somebody whose child is sick on the night, or whose childcare arrangements fall through, or isn't feeling well, or they get tied up at work. So don't worry about that. Don't let it put you off. It's absolutely normal. But do make sure that you over-invite. Personal invitations always work better. So pick up the phone again. As I say, the phone is our friend in this business. Pick up the phone and chat to people. I know that sometimes people set up a group event on Facebook, and that's absolutely fine if you want to do it that way, but make sure you're also calling people. If you don't have a number, also send them a message, because personal invitations get the best results. Don't do it too far in advance. So you're thinking about a week to 10 days in advance to invite people. In your first month in the business, book in as many launches as you can. If you can book in 1 a week and get 4 within your first month, that will give you an amazing start to the business. Pick different nights so that different people are able to attend. Here we've got a couple of examples of Friday and a Tuesday. I've done both of those nights actually. Fridays are quite good because people have made it to the end of the week, and you know, they're quite happy to go out and have a glass of wine and a girly chat with everybody. Tuesday nights can work well, and just play around with it and see what works best for you and the people you know. Keep in touch with people in the run up to it, making sure that they're able to attend. Create mystique. So there's a lot to be said for that in this business. So especially if you have set up a group event on Facebook where you've invited people, keep it mysterious. Don't be posting loads and loads of information about this is what we'll have. If you're calling people to invite them, don't start telling them about Rick's Mon and how he's got this amazing aloe vera that he grows, and this company is fantastic and we're the world leaders and we've got products that can have it. Just don't do any of that. All you want to say is that you've got a new business and you're launching a new business. You're really excited and you hope they can make it along. And people will be curious, which is great because we want that. And don't be afraid to ask people for their support. I was so nervous about asking my family to come along because I thought, oh, they're just going to think, what on earth are you doing? But you know what? When I spoke to them and said, I've just started, I'm new to the business, I'd really like some friendly faces at my first business launch, everybody's really happy to come because people are happy to support you if you ask them. So before the launch, one day before the launch, or if it's in the evening, even on the morning of the launch, contact everyone either by phone or by message and check if they're able to come. If you're like me, you've probably got some friends that always forget things. So there's usually somebody that says, oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, that's fine. Another thing that is a great idea before you do your first launch is to do a clean 9, because your results will encourage other people. So either do one or even be doing one while you're on and share your own results. You can also offer something like free toning wraps or facials. Obviously, if you're very new to the business, you might not have some of the other products, and that's absolutely fine. There are things you can do with the products in your box as well. You've obviously got things like the scrub and the moisturizer anyway that you could use for doing little facials. There is a fantastic training. If you're interested in doing something like this, speak to your sponsor, speak to Claire about it, and we'll tag you into the great training that Martha did on sort of doing pampering things along with the launch. Sometimes it's a good idea to ask that there's no kids or dogs running about. It can get a little bit crazy if you've got them all running and it's all a bit crazy, and obviously you've got all your products out. You don't want them all being taken and run off with. I've done both. I have done some where people have had their children. We've set up a play area in the other room for the children, but it does work better if they're not there. Don't go crazy with a big buffet and loads of food and loads of drinks. If it's an evening, I usually do some wine and some snacks. If it's the afternoon, you could be having, a coffee afternoon, coffee morning, have some tea and coffee and some biscuits or cakes. Don't go over the top with that side of things. Blog about it on Facebook. Again, keep the mystique, but it's okay to say, really excited for my first business launch on Friday, can't wait. If somebody likes it or comments on it, then you'll be able to ask them if they'd like to come along as well. Be cool. That's easier said than done. I know it's quite nerve-wracking when it's your first one. I was nervous. But try and be relaxed. You'll have loads of help and support, either in person or by somebody being there on Skype to do the first 1 or 2 for you. Goes without saying, of course, as well. Tidy your house. And if you speak to Lorna, who you might not all know, but a lot of us know Lorna, she's also in Claire's team, you'll see her doing some of the trainings. Lorna always says, don't wear your slippers. Keep it professional, have your shoes on. So I do that now, actually. I always keep my shoes on, even if it's in my own house. So on the night of the launch, remember that presentation is everything, and that goes for the product and yourself. So even if you're feeling a bit dishevelled inside, try not to look that way on the outside. Again, easier said than done. And have your products set out. You'll see lots of different pictures of people setting up for their launches on the pages and how you can set your products out, which is great. Some people just have all the snacks and maybe some literature set out and sit on the floor with their box in front of them. So decide how it's going to be best for you to present everything. I love this next one. Ooze enthusiasm and have a positive business story. Sometimes we're a little bit reserved about being excited, and I know I was. I sometimes felt like I wasn't getting the support I wanted, but I also wasn't oozing enthusiasm. And the more I've oozed enthusiasm, the more support I've had, to be honest, even among my friends and family. In terms of your business story, if you're brand new and it's your very first launch, then whoever's doing the launch for you will tell their business story. So take note on how that's done. But start now, even if you're brand new to the business, start working on your own story, because it's such a powerful tool, telling your own story. Because people love to hear how, what led you to the business. And again, there's lots of training still to come about how to build your business story. Focus the products around your audience. So if it's one that you're hosting, you've got family and friends there, if you know that people have, somebody would benefit from the drinking gel, make sure you highlight that. Be subtle about it. Don't say you should buy this. But make sure that as you're talking about the products and who they can benefit, you're bearing your audience in mind all the time. Be confident, even if you don't feel it inside. People will believe that you're confident if you behave like you're confident. And I'm a great believer in this, that if you act that way and people believe that you are, you will feel more confident. So try to pretend, even at the start, if your hands are shaking. That puts people at ease when you're confident and comfortable talking about the product. And again, if you're very new, you'll have somebody there doing this for you. Sit in amongst everybody. Don't stand up. You don't want people to feel like they're having a presentation given to them. Keep it quite informal. I quite often sit on the floor beside the products and chat to people that way. Focus on the business opportunity, so share relevant testimonials. You might be very new to the business yourself, but share stories of other people. You can talk about Claire and everything she's achieved in the business. Talk about your upline story or anybody else's, because there will quite likely be people at your launches who are also interested in finding more about the business opportunity. Make sure you've got your prize draw forms printed out, so they are the very last page in the business launch presenter, and if you look at the pinned post on Diamonds and Sapphires, you can print them out from there. You can have things like vouchers on the night, so there are sometimes people will have maybe 3 envelopes with different amounts of vouchers, or to be spent on the night, which does mean you'll get sales it's like on that night from them. You could have sort of a quick fire round where you ask people questions, so who can tell me what percentage of aloe is in name one of the drinking jars in the yellow bottle, say, for example. Ask your guests that, things that you've covered on the night. The good thing about that is it gets people engaging, gets everybody talking and having fun. People love a competition. With the free prize draws, I again quite often do a voucher to be spent on the night, or you could have something like a tooth gel that people can win. The great thing about the prize draw forms, they are such a fantastic tool because people can tell you more about themselves on the form if you don't already know. So it's a great starting point as well. Give an incentive for spin-off launches, so let people know if you offer a gift for your host or hostess, or if you give them a percentage of discount off their order on the night. Let people know, because you will more than likely have people at your launch that would be willing to host for you. And take the time to spend chatting. So much about this business is about chatting to people, so spend time chatting to people. So on the launch night, after you've had your launch, invite any non-attendees. So you'll be having another launch, maybe even more than one. So anybody who wasn't able to make it, invite them to your next one. Get orders from people who weren't able to come. So even if they weren't able to come, you can send people a message and say, well, is there anything you'd like to try, or would you like some information on any of the products, even if they're not able to make a launch. Send a thank you message out to everybody who did come along. Brag about what a great night you had, even if it wasn't. So you might have had only 2 people turn up, and you might have thought this was a bit pants. But remember, you've created all this mystique on Facebook. So when you're now vlogging on Facebook about it, oh my goodness, thanks so much to everyone who came along. Thanks to our amazing sponsor for such, or thank you to the amazing such and such, tag them in, who really helped us on the night. We had such a great time, etc., etc. You'll hear it said time and time again, the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's absolutely true in this business. So follow up all of your free prize draw forms, including people who take no to everything, because they might not have realised what they were ticking. Give them a phone, have a chat to them, and quite often, most people will take yes to having a trial of your product at home, but even if they haven't, when you chat to them, through chatting, they might have mentioned on their form an illness that they have. You might find by chatting to them, you can say, do you know what, would you like to have a try of such and such? I think it would really help you. And they more than likely would. So follow up all of them. And even if it ends up just being a conversation to say thank you so much for completing the form, that's absolutely fine as well. And prospect everyone who came to your launches. Again, even if they take no to the business opportunity, because they might not even have realised or read it properly. So just to summarise then, our top tips for having amazing launches: always over invite, and don't be put off if quite a lot of people can't make it. That's just the nature of the game. Do a clean 9 yourself, or get a Sonia kit. So obviously that is an investment, but it is an investment in your own business. So if you're able to do that, that does really work, because your own experience works so much better. And if you've got a Sonia kit, everybody that tries it absolutely loves it as well. You can use that for doing facials. So make it a pamper night. Do things like wraps as well if you wanted to. Have 2 dates, so that as you're inviting people, if they say, oh no, I'm busy on that night, oh that's okay, what about this night? Have your next date in mind. Always call people to invite them where possible. If you've got a number, always call. Check in on the day before or the morning of the launch with everybody that's meant to be coming along. View your launch as a way of prospecting. Jane Leach says when she has somebody new join the business, when she goes along to their launch, her main priority is not actually to get them lots of sales on the night. It's to help them to prospect everybody that attends their launches. So view it as that way. Obviously, it's about getting the products out there as well, but keep the prospecting in your mind as well. And remember to thank everybody on Facebook. So you can do a post, thank them. If you've had lots of people along, tag them all. Again, make a big scene about it, how great it was, and thank you so much for all your support on the night. And make sure you then send a private message to everybody who likes the post on Facebook. So we're now going to hand over to the lovely Claire, and I will let Claire tell you a little bit about herself, and then Claire's going to do our product of the week slot. Are you there, Claire?
Yeah, hi, I am.
Hi, perfect. I'll hand you over then.
Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. I hope that you've all had a great weekend. A little bit about myself is that I joined Forever in January this year. I have 3 children, Ellie 5, Josh 2, and Bradley 1. So I work it around them, and my goal is to have a good income. That way I could be around the children and not have to go out to work. My product of the week is the Aloe Populus Cream. It's my most favourite product, as my daughter suffered with eczema for years since she was born, really. I tried many different products. There was from the doctors, everything to help it, but nothing seemed to actually work for her until I used the Aloe Populus Cream. After a week of using it, her skin was no longer cracked and bleeding or even hurting her anymore. She now uses all the time and calls it her special magic cream. My partner also suffers with psoriasis on his face and his head. He also is using it now and can see the changes and the benefits since he started using it. The Aloe Populus Cream is a rich creamy blend of aloe vera gel and bee populus extract. It's a natural antibiotic. It's more moisturising than the jelly and is excellent for psoriasis, eczema, chapped hands and feet, heels, rough skin, nappy rash, etc. And I just love it and would recommend it to anybody. Thank you.
Fab, thank you so much, Claire. That was great. And I know that was one of Claire's first times talking on the training, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking when you do the first one, but that was fantastic. It does feel a little bit strange at the start, which is sitting speaking to a screen, but anyway, sometimes you think, is anybody out there? But we are, and that was great.
Thank you.
I love the product of the week slots, actually, because I love to hear. And Lucy, often when she does trainings and she talks about building your business, she always says gather lots of stories, and this is a great way to do it. So you'll have your own personal favourites, everybody does, but by coming on the call and talking about it, obviously we're all getting a chance to learn other people's stories, people that have used the products and they've worked, which is fantastic. So that's great. Thank you, Claire. Sort of just starting to wrap up the call then, remember that we have got our 4cc monthly incentives. So every month there is an incentive prize. This month you can see it's this book here, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So everybody who achieves 4 case credits within the month gets that book. And if you're like the lovely Rochelle and Lynn and you do it before the 15th of the month, you'll get an additional gift, which I know this month is something from the Sonia makeup range as well. We then also have a 10cc monthly incentive. So anybody who, again, achieves 10cc within the month will get either a C9 or a Fleur kit. And you also get an additional gift if you do that by the 15th of the month. Book recommendations, then some books that you might want to look at reading, or I know some people have the CDs and listen to them in their car. GoPro that's the one that a few of us have mentioned, Eric Worre. So that's his book, GoPro, if you haven't read it already. And the other one is Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. Training that is coming up. So every Wednesday night we have the 4cc clinics covering lots of different topics. Make sure when you see the post on Facebook you tag everybody in your team, call them or private message them to remind them about it. We have this training which will run now for another 5 weeks. It is rolling, it will run again after that. But so we've got the network professional training, obviously so that's every Sunday night from 8 until 9:30. For new Forever business owners, we have the Fast Start training, which is every second Wednesday. So again, watch out for that. And if you are quite new to the business, somebody will let you know your upline, or Claire will tag you in that once we've got the link for it as well. On the first Tuesday of every month, we have our supervisor boot camp. And then on the 20th of March, we've got the QLS six-figure earner training. So earlier when I was saying that the turning point for me in the business was going to the training, that was also a QLS training in January. Everybody who was there or has been there in the past will tell you how amazing it is. If you don't know the QLS, what that stands for, that's basically the QLS group is John and Jane Leach's group. Their training is amazing, second to none. And this training on the 20th of March is going to be fantastic. It's in Cheltenham. There are going to be, I think it's 4 six-figure earners sharing their tips. So if you would like to come along, that's obviously next week Sunday. If you don't have a ticket already, I'm not sure if Claire might still have 1 or 2 that she's kept aside for new people. So message Claire, but do that soon because the tickets will go. They sold out almost straight away when they went on sale. We've then got on the 8th of May, we've got the Rolling Snowballs Day, which is at Oxford Belfry Hotel. And then you've got our different success days. So the 4th and 5th of June is in Birmingham. That's for everybody south of the border. I know there's a few of us in the team north of the border. We've got ours in May. And those of you over in Ireland, I'm not sure when yours is, but I know you'll have another one coming up soon as well. I think you've got one soon, actually. So what to do next? Create your own vision and write your goals, things that really mean something to you. Do your dream book or your board. If you find that it's not connecting with you, you might even just need to tweak it a little bit. Read GoPro and Attitude is Everything. Build your team, and the way to do that is by making 5 to 10 calls every day. Get your launches booked in, and most importantly, have fun, because that's what this business is all about. So that's us for tonight. Thank you everybody for logging on tonight. That's been great. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope you're all set and ready to go. Do remember that we've got our March incentive running as well. So if you haven't already done it, get your activity tracker, your 7-day plan, and your point sheets sent up to your upline or your sponsor tonight. Not only does it get you some extra points, but it's a great habit to be in. So hope you all have a fab week, and I look forward to speaking to you all in some of the training soon.
Thanks, Bronwyn. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye. Bye.